sit here?
No, I'm good right here.
You're not?
No, I'm good right
okay.
here.
I know that wasn't for me. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is my distinct honor and tremendous pleasure to introduce to you our very special guest, Miss Noel Neill. We had 2 microphones, one doesn't work. Shock, surprise. So, we are going to proceed. I will ask a question, we will talk, I will interview Miss Neill here, and she's very soft-spoken and quite really shy and reserved, actually. So, we'll hold questions until the very end, but I wanted to tell you what a wonderful joy it has been for us for the last week to be receiving phone calls from people all over, from here to Canada, because they can't believe that Lois Lane is coming to Santa Cruz. Yes. Would you like to just say a few words of introductory about yourself just before we get started?
Okay. Well, let's see, where do I start? When I was young, I guess. I was born and raised in Minneapolis, and how I got started I was going back to college and studied journalism because my dad was a newspaper man in Minneapolis, and I never did get back there. Hi. Everything okay? Okay. Mom and I had done a little trip, going out and stopping at various towns to see family and whatever. But we got to LA and stayed a little bit longer to see more people, and some of the neighbors said, gee, we're having a contest today for girl singers for the band down at Del Mar Racetrack, which Bing Crosby owned at the time. So Mother had told him I sang in the band in high school, of course. I said, oh, no. And mothers, anyway, I went, he said, oh, what can you lose? Go. So I went and got the job with this little band, played down there. And of course, it was very nice for the Turf Club on the weekends that most of the clients were people in showbiz. And of course, Bing was at Paramount Studio, along with Bob Hope. They were the big kahunas there. And so I ended up eventually starting work at Paramount with Jimmy Lydon in some of the teenage series he did. And then I went on a contract to Paramount, and they always farm you out because they get twice your salary when you go out to work, and they take the money, of course. But that's okay. And anyway, I did a lot of westerns and a lot of neat movies and worked with some of the wonderful people around Paramount. One nice thing about Bing Crosby, I'll have to tell you, he had a bicycle, to ride around the studio because it was so large. And all of a sudden I'm walking along, and all of a sudden I hear somebody saying, Noel. And I thought, where's it? And I turned around, and there was Bing on a bicycle. Bless his heart, he came up to me and he said, well, hi Noel, how are you doing? And I said, well, just fine, thank you. And he said, well, if anything gets kind of tacky around the studio or somebody's naughty to you, you just call my brother Ernie, who's an agent, and we'll take care of that. And the way he went. So I thought, well, that was awfully nice of him to say that to a poorly contract. But so that's how I got started out, and kind of a long story, but it's all in my book written by Larry Thomas Ward. There. There now.
So she just skimmed over some things that I want to back up a little bit on, of course. No, because most of us know her, of course, as Lois Lane, but she had quite an extensive career prior to that. When you got the job, the first time you played Lois Lane, some of these people are not aware that there was, before the TV show, there was the movie serial. And the actor who was the first man to play a live Superman was Kirk Allen. Now, when you were in the serial with Kirk, how old were you at that time? She's looking at Larry, her biographer. Help.
28.
She was 28. Okay, so that means you had done a lot of Westerns prior to this work. So the time that you spent from the time that you started in Minneapolis until you got the job as Lois Lane, how many movies did you make in Westerns and other types of movies for the studios?
Oh, gosh, I think probably, I'm going to say 30 or 40. And, of course, a lot of times you just worked, as we always said in Westerns, the girl doesn't, of course, do much because the men are always the one riding the horses and fighting and shooting each other. But my agent would say, oh, no, I got a job for you out at Republic Studio. It's the Western, whatever. Go out there. So I went out and I got the little Western wardrobe, a little skirt and a blouse, little bonnet. And I kissed the horse and went home. That was my job. But the Westerns were really fun to do. I just, a lot of nice people, Johnny Mac Brown and Lash LaRue and on and on and on. And it was really fun. Westerns were fun.
And did you do Lone Ranger with Clayton Moore?
Oh, yes, Clayton Moore, Lone Ranger. And, of course, Johnny Hart did a lot of his work when he had, contractual problems and whatever.
Wanted more money.
Who makes more money? Who did? I didn't.
No, I said Clayton wanted more money.
Oh, of course he did. Naturally he did. Everybody wants more money.
So you made quite a few Westerns, and then the Santa Fe Trail was a big movie that you were in? And who was in that film with you?
Ken Curtis.
Ken Curtis, the singing cowboy.
Ken Curtis.
Is that the one I sang in?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I did a little singing in that, and a little, from whatever you can do in a Western.
Kiss the horse?
Yeah, kissed the horse and went home.
Do you know who Ken Curtis is? Festus on Gunsmoke, thank you. You younger guys have to understand something. You're going to hear names that you do not know. And us old guys don't care because we know who they are. Now watch this. Okay, Pinky Lee. Hold your hand up if you know who that is. All right, look at that. See? She worked with Pinky Lee.
He was from Minneapolis, too.
He was from Minneapolis?
And so we got a lot of publicity back in Minnesota. That was a picture with Barbara Stanwyck. And we played, I was a little dancing girl on the chorus, and of course, being small, I was the one on the end, and they used to call them pony girls.
Awful. Pony girl.
But I got paid.
Now, along with all of this in her early career, you have to understand something else. Especially for us folks here in Santa Cruz, this woman was quite an athlete playing, of all things, women's beach volleyball. Tell us a little about that.
Well, I was playing volleyball so long ago. Oh, wait a minute.
Go ahead.
You used to have to play open hand. You couldn't, hold the ball or anything, but you just had to hit it cleanly. And of course, now they all do the bumping stuff, and so things have changed, and the girls grow taller, and I seem to grow shorter, so I didn't play anymore. But it was fun. But I watched a little bit of the volleyball on the beach this morning, and it's fun to, popcorn.